You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Love doing the Best of the Week podcast, where I review all of the best from the past week in the private practice, inside of integrative health practitioner, inside of equilibrium nutrition, podcast questions, you name it. These are all things I love to talk about on this end of the week show. So typically how I start out is I go through what's been going on in the practice. I love bringing you, lately I've been doing my favorite food of the week. Previously, I was doing a vitamin of the week. I was doing a lab test of the week. I was sharing you basically tips that you can use in your everyday life for yourself, as well as knowledge that if you're ever questioned about what you're doing or you want to request a lab with your doctor, knowledge is power. You know why, you know how to ask for it, and you know what is the reason you want to do it. So I love going over that. Favorite food of the week, I'll definitely be continuing on with for at least another couple weeks or so. I always do a product review, whether it's a tech-based gadget with health and fitness, whether it's a book. This week is actually a healthier version of one of the favorite coffee-based machines. Think a little plastic cup that you put in a machine and out comes coffee. I want to give you one of the healthiest versions of that product out right now. And then I'd love to take you through a little bit about the research that I believe is going to benefit you or someone, of course, that you love in your life. So what I want to do is I want to start right out of the gates. And, first and foremost, I'm like a little kid when it comes to being able to formulate some of my favorite products. So I'm the chief formulator for Equilibrium Nutrition. I come up with the formulations, back it up by science. Now we have a chief scientist on our team that puts all of the research-based studies with all of the products. I mean, we are doing everything by the book, backing up with the dosage, backing up with the product. It's, absolutely fantastic. And it culminated with Fatlocity. I mean, it really did. I mean, that is a product that is based on the 5 underlying factors that cause people to gain weight and not be able to take it off. We help then people based on those specific issues with that product and a whole 2.5-hour course that comes along with it. So I love that. That was absolutely the pinnacle. But one thing that we did previously last October or so, we debuted one of, if not the only that I know of, whole food bars that is tested across the board for glyphosate, that's tested for pesticides, that tested for all sorts of impurities. And it's also paleo approved. It's vegan. It is school safe for most schools because it's nut free. It's egg free. It's free of the top 8 allergens. We added 4 more of the big allergens out there. This is also a bar that's going to keep you satiated. So it has a balanced amount of carbohydrates, of protein and fat, as well as fiber in order for you to feel good about eating the bar. They taste delicious, and they're going to keep you satiated longer. So we sold out of those in about 6 weeks when they debuted. I mean, of course, thank you to our community. Our community are the ones who support us, and they believe in us. They believe in our new products. And so I'm excited about that. I'm not excited that we ran out of them, but excited that we know now that the community loves them. And so we brought them back. And of course, we always want to do some type of thank you. And as a thank you, we are offering those sample bar packs all this week until Sunday, this Sunday, which will be, what day of the week? Well, we know it's Sunday. What's the date Sunday? So it looks like it's going to be the 26th that offer will be ending, or of course, while supplies last. So you get to try all 4 flavors of our bars: the chocolate, the sunny date, the cinnamon apple, and the lemon ginger goodness, which contains turmeric and all sorts of really nice spices. Great anti-inflammatory or balances healthy levels of inflammation bar. So that's that. I would love for you to test them out, give them yourself. You can give them to your kids. And they're really a fantastic bar. One works as a snack, two as a meal replacement if you needed it, and it's going to contain balanced levels of fat, of carbs, and of protein and fiber for that longer lasting energy. My favorite flavor, I love Sunny Dates. I love cinnamon apple. My youngest daughter loves the chocolate. My older daughter loves the cinnamon apple. My wife loves the lemon ginger. So there's always, bars, like anything, are subjective. Like, do you like vanilla? Do you like chocolate? Different people like different things. You could try all 4 flavors this week. That's the sample bar packs. That's what's going on over at Equilibrium Nutrition this week. In terms of, I can't wait to I want to bring you this right now. So we are going to be debuting a partnership in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned, on an online workout program, follow along daily videos, as well as daily nutrition plans that you can incorporate with your equilibrium-based lifestyle. So I can't wait for that to debut. It is coming in the next couple of weeks. Stay tuned. I can't share any more tips than that, but stay tuned. It is coming. I was here in Miami with some of those meetings and couldn't be more excited. Could not be more excited. With IHP, I want to share with you something. So inside of the Integrative Health Practitioner, the main goal is to teach people how to heal themselves and heal others. But we have a business career component to it, meaning like we would love you, if you're passionate about health, to be able to earn a living, even part-time if needed, while learning to heal yourself, heal others, and be that person in your family who knows the ins and outs of what to do with natural-based medicine. That's over at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. But what we are looking to do is actually create more of a well-defined business acumen that you can use over the course of 2020, culminating in a big event in September that you're invited to if you join IHP. And that's going to allow you to make the income that you want doing what you love, if doing what you love is health-based. So whether it's writing, making videos, running online groups, or doing one-on-ones. So for more information, check out integrativehealthpractitioner.org. Only the people inside of that group will hear about obviously the health coach career development. But I'm really excited about that because my goal is to empower people to do what they love so they'll be happier. And if they can make an income, even if it's just for some extra spending money for themselves, the family, to be able to take a vacation, to be able to pay for the car that they want, like whatever it might be. Great. I'd love to be able to help people with that because my end goal is that we teach more people how to get on these healing-based protocols so that they don't have to use all the drugs and all the pharmaceuticals and all the things that are more masking rather than rebalancing. So again, I'll share more about that. Some of these things are just what's coming, but I get excited thinking about them. And I can't announce them right away because then people always ask, like, well, when do we start? What's the date? And I don't always have that, right? Because it's my goal to teach, to educate, to be able to read labs. But I have an amazing team, and we have a team of 30 plus people that make all of these things happen for our community. So super grateful for them for making it happen. Those are my updates for the week. Can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head. Thank you for everyone who's been tuning into the podcast. On Monday, we had What Phase of Life Are You currently living right now for our Motivation Mindset Monday. Check that out. Episode 1445. 1446 was basically the lost works of ancient Greek philosophy. And I showed how that tied into Ayurvedic medicine and how if you're not looking at current mood and overall genotype or body type, you're missing a lot of what you could do in order to be a healthier, happier human being. Episode 1446. Episode 1447 was learning how to better control stress and cortisol. So I gave you specific methodologies, lifestyle-based, that you will want to begin to implement in order to cut down stress, anxiety, inflammation, weight gain, puffiness, brain fog, all of those things. Okay, that was 1447. 1448, just yesterday's show, the 10 workout pillars, expert exercise tips for longer lasting results. So this is what's going to allow you to get into an exercise program, choose the right one for you, which one is the right one for you, and then also make it stick. I mean, honestly, make it stick because the results, every single month you begin to compound more workouts, just meaning like not more days per week, but okay, month 2, month 3, month 4, the results keep coming. And the benefits are, they're unbelievable. So that was yesterday's show, 448 today. All the links will be over at stephencabral.com/1449. All the sample bar packs at equilibriumnutrition.com, IHP at integrativehealthpractitioner.org, and the workout programs coming soon. Okay, favorite food of the week. I have to bring this to you, and I'm telling you right now, could not find it. I know I've given you the recipe for this. Someone asked for it. I couldn't find it. So I'm going to make sure we add it to the website. I want to give it to you today. When people talk about superfoods, it's kind of a buzzword. But if you had a couple foods that were in that superfood category, I would put chia seeds in it. I really would. Do they work for every human being alive? No, not everyone. Not people with maybe digestive-based overgrowth, etc. But it does work once you rebalance that microbiome. So it's very simple. Well, let me give you the benefits of chia because I want you to know the benefits, and then I'm going to give you a super simple recipe. Like, this is great for kids, great for adults. You leave it overnight in your fridge, super easy to do. So if you don't know what chia seeds are, these are tiny little seeds, but they expand in liquid. Now, that's part of the magic because as they expand, they contain something specific, soluble fiber that allows them to absorb over 10x their weight in water. It becomes almost like a little bit of gel as it moves through the digestive tract. So what does that help with? Well, it can help with blood sugar regulation, healthy levels of blood sugar regulation. Glucomannan is one of the ways to pronounce the fiber and help with things that keep you satiated. That may also help with weight loss. It's also a great way to get in a lot of the amino acids and a good quality protein. They're loaded with antioxidants. It's been shown to help fight free radical damage, good for the cardiovascular system. It's also loaded with minerals that are great for the bones. So we have calcium, we have manganese, we have magnesium, and we have phosphorus. And we're talking about just an ounce or so serving to get about 1/3 of those specific minerals for what you need for the day. A little bit on the lower side of niacin, a little potassium, a little B1, a little B2, a little bit of zinc. So it's still good for those. Not bad. Again, nothing's going to have everything, but a great thing to be able to add into your diet. Also a big fan of them. I talked about it a little bit with the weight loss, but a good source of omega-3s, a good vegan-based source of what's called alpha-linolenic acid or linolenic acid. And this is a plant-based form of omega-3s. I've talked about it before. The conversion rate from plant-based ALA to EPA, not as high. But does that mean that you can't get some good ALA omegas in? Absolutely not. You can still get in your seaweed, your walnuts, chia seeds, your flax. These are great sources and really nice in the anti-inflammatory based food department. I talked about its benefits with heart-based disease. It could help you with raising your good cholesterol. It could help with triglycerides. Again, not a lot of downside. Not a lot of downside to these things, especially when it helps with overall inflammation. And we know that inflammation is tied with the majority of diseases today. So huge fan. Here's some simple ways to get them, okay? So one is I added them to our whole food bars, our organic whole food bars. No doubt about it. Chia seeds were going in there. Why? Satiated. Balanced blood sugar. People are like, oh, there's carbs in your bars. Well, here's the thing. Yes, there's carbs in your bars. And that's because you need carbs in life. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are not the enemy. Blood sugar dysregulation is the enemy. You need to work on cell membrane dynamics, not necessarily eating some good carbs. But you have chia in there, which slows the glycemic response. There's protein in those bars that slows the glycemic response. Chia has fat. It slows the glycemic response. So again, a tablespoon of sugar is different than eating carbs from fruit. Like, these are different things. Anyway, I don't want to go down that road, but what I'm saying is easy, accessible, simple way to get them. Another way, chia seed pudding. I've talked about this before. It's something that we love to make for our daughters. And by we, I mean my wife. She does an amazing job at making things like this that you can have for breakfast with your kids. You could pack it in their school for lunch, as long as they can bring chia seeds to school, as long as they can do some dairy-free nut milk at school. I don't know if they can. But you could even use hemp milk, hemp seeds, so seeds not part of the nuts that might be allowable. But what you can do is simply put 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in a little small mason jar and a half a cup of milk, okay? That's 4 ounces. That's it. You want to double the recipe? Great. 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, a cup of milk. Shake it up, put it in the refrigerator, let it sit overnight or at least for a couple hours for it to begin to congeal a little bit. It makes a pudding. It's that plain and simple. What can you do to make it a little bit sweeter? You could add a little stevia if you wanted to. What else could you do? You could add a little bit of fruit on top, which is what we do for our daughters. We make it almost like an acai bowl. Put a little bit of berries on top, slice some strawberries, get some blueberries in there, drizzle a little bit of raw honey or a little bit of Manuka honey, put some coconut flakes. It's absolutely amazing and super simple and super inexpensive. So just remember, you can make healthy, delicious meals. You can make the same healthy, delicious snacks for your kids. Like these things you can do. No doubt about it. This is one way. And again, if a food qualifies as a superfood, chia seeds is going to be part of that. So I'll put that today. No doubt about it. I will make sure that I don't make the same mistake twice. I can't promise that I'll never make a mistake, but I'll try not to make the same one twice. It will be listed at episode 1449. So StephenCabral.com/1449. All right. Next up, product review. All right. There's a lot of people out there right now who love their Nespresso machine. Okay. So if you don't know what a Nespresso machine is, it's basically it's like a K-cup machine. You put a little cup in and then you press down the lever. It takes the water from the machine and it makes you an espresso or it makes you a coffee. Well, there are very few companies, if any, that will get you an organic-based coffee. There are even fewer that will do shade grown, that will do single source. So I found a brand for people, tested them out, absolutely delicious. I know that you will love it if you're a Nespresso person. Here's the name of the company. It's called artisancoffee.com. And if you want their Nespresso, you could just say artisancoffee.com/Nespresso. Now, we will contact the company. I don't know if they'll give us anything, but I don't think that they will. I think they're a small company. So we very well may help them sell out. Hopefully that's a good thing for them. But you can head on over to StephenCabral.com/1449. We'll just email them. We'll say, hey, do you have a discount code for our community? And this is a company that has biodegradable and recyclable base cups for the Nespresso, which is great. And it is also organic-based coffee. So one of the only brands, again, if I've seen any others, which I haven't, that's organic, single origin. Now, you can buy some blends if you'd like, and you can also buy it based on acidity level as well. For example, buying the Peruvian blend or the Brazil blend, single origin, or the Cuba Mia, it's called, are going to be lower acidic-based coffees. This company takes what they do seriously. I love that. I love companies that take what they do super serious. We are super serious about functional medicine at equilibriumnutrition.com. Way more than most people care about, but we love it. Like it's what we do. We want people to have the best product available. I think this company has made the best product available in terms of Nespresso. And you can check it out. It's with a Z, ARTIZAN, coffee.com. Artisan with a Z, coffee.com. And then, of course, you can just click on Nespresso if you want or do /Nespresso. Okay, so that is my product review of the week. If you're looking for organic coffee that can be single source, that you can check out the different acidity levels, and you can buy a biodegradable and recyclable based K-Cup or the Nespresso cup, that is the company. Now, I would love to bring you a little bit of research today. Okay, so just 2 items for today that I was reading through. A lot of research that I was reading through actually this week, but 2 that I feel would really benefit you the most. One is more of a quick tip that you can do in less than 5 minutes a day, and it can help a lot. There's a lot of people out there with foot and ankle-based issues. They have weak arches of their weak muscles in their feet, and it's really affecting their overall posture, and it's leading to lower back issues as well, that they're not directly connecting to their feet. So there's something that we do in health and fitness called a kinetic-based assessment. We look at the kinetic chain. We also look at ground-up-based work. We often say that if the arches of the feet are collapsed, the feet are inverted, or they're pronated, they're supinated as you walk, as you move, that's going to cause issues up the chain, up the kinetic chain. To the knees may begin to bow in a little bit. The hip flexors may start to tighten. So we look at that and we want to actually strengthen people's feet. Now, one of the ways to do that is to exercise. Be careful on the impact, but exercise when you're doing your training. Just again, be careful, barefoot. So if you're doing standing-based exercise, if you're doing lunges, if you're doing squats, if you're doing deadlifts, if you're doing step-ups, great to do them barefoot. Be careful with the weights, but great to do barefoot. Huge advocate of that. We do that in my studio all the time, and I'm a big fan of it, and I believe that you should be doing more of it or start to use those zero pitch sneakers or basically flat sole sneakers, okay? So here are some exercises, though, super simple that I wanted to bring you. This is by Jonathan Rose, DPM, okay? Jonathan Rose, DPM, is giving you these tips. I like them. I wanted to pass them on to you. First one is this. Exercise number 1. Put a bunch of marbles on the floor. You can do it at work, under your desk. You can do it anywhere. You're going to practice picking up the marbles one at a time and dropping them off the floor or taking them off the floor and dropping them in a bowl. What this does is it begins to strengthen the muscles on the bottom of the foot, and that includes tendons, ligaments as well. The way that it does this is that as you are squeezing the marble between your toes or picking them up with your feet, you are contracting those muscles. It's almost like doing a bicep curl for your foot. Great first exercise. The second one is this. Grab a towel with your toes. So this allows you to curl the toes as you're pulling a little bit away with the towel. Go slowly, go gently, but if you're holding the towel under your toes or under the ball of your foot and you're pushing down or squeezing down and you're pulling the towel up, it's like isometric based resistance. Really nice one as well. This great one, we have clients do this all the time, the next 2 actually, as a warm-up before their workouts. It's called tracing the alphabet. All you really need to think about, take your big toe, draw the alphabet. Draw an A with it, cross that little line across, draw the B, draw the C, and all you're doing is drawing the alphabet with one foot and then the other foot. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't want to do the whole alphabet, another great way to do it, though, is ankle circles. So we go 12 to 15 repetitions, use the big toe to draw a really big circle clockwise, then do 12 counterclockwise. You will be surprised at how disjointed, how broken it up it is, with the nervous system not firing properly and the muscles not receiving the signal properly. This will change over a couple weeks, and that will dramatically affect fall prevention, strengthen the feet and ankles. It's tremendous. Definitely check that out, especially if you're someone looking to strengthen the feet and the ankles and improve your overall posture. And the last one is simply toe raises, right? This is pretty simple. This is pretty straightforward. You can stand on the edge of a step, but basically you're just doing calf raises. All you're doing is standing up high on the ball of your foot and coming down slowly, very, very slowly. Now, some of these things tighten up the bottom of the foot. So I'm going to add this in. Those 4 tips were from Jonathan Rose. What I'd like to do is add in, if you have tightness on the bottom of your feet, a great thing to do is get one of those little spiky rubber balls or a tennis ball, put it on the floor, wear socks or barefoot, and just use it to gently massage the whole bottom of the foot. Really, really nice for being able to soften and relax those muscles on the bottom of the foot. All right. My time is up on the show today, but I want to bring you one more research study. The title of the study is this: Keto diets are risky for older people. I'm going to read it directly to you, the synopsis. They can deprive the body of protein it needs to build muscle and maintain muscle mass. The diet often limits protein to 15% of calories consumed, with the rest of the diet consisting of about 75% fat and 10% carbs. But older people tend to need more protein than these diets allow to avoid frailty, falls, and fractures. Keto diets also have effects on people of all ages that may be more serious for older adults, including increasing risk for kidney stones, renal damage, which is kidney, and elevated levels of LDL cholesterol. The diet can be difficult to maintain, even with professional assistance. Half the people using a keto diet to fight diabetes drop off within 1 year. And the evidence of whether the diet works is inconclusive. So I'm not really picking on the keto diet, maybe a little bit, but the reason why I'm saying it is that I actually think it's dangerous for that reason, but actually multiple other reasons. One is you're further imbalancing the gut microbiome. How many adults do we know on proton pump inhibitors or acid blockers, right? So if we're not producing enough acid and we're taking in 75% of our diet from fats, we have to then produce a good amount of stomach acid and certainly a lot more bile. A lot of people are not producing that much because of liver-based congestion, etc., which makes it more difficult then to break down all of this fat, which then if it moves into the intestines partially undigested, so oftentimes people are more prone to looser stool, and they don't even know why. Well, that's good. What happens is if you have looser stool, you have faster bowel motility, oftentimes, and you're not going to absorb not as much just protein, which can absolutely lead to muscle loss and bone loss, but also in terms of nutrient intake. You're not absorbing your vitamins and minerals and all of that, etc. So again, if you want to experiment for a short period of time, fine. I'd much rather you do intermittent-based fasting. But what I'd rather do is just say, what's a great diet? What's a healthy diet that includes 7 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables, that's allowing you to get in the right amount of protein, the healthy fats, without going to one extreme or the other. That, in the end, will absolutely serve you best. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. As always, I appreciate you. For any links you need, head on over to stephencabral.com/1449. And of course, all previous podcasts are at stephencabral.com/podcast. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll be back tomorrow with our house calls. Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or imbalanced in only 2 ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to stephencabral.com/rainbarrel.